Alright, I'm completely rushing with these game week predictions, but I need to get these done quick. I'm recording this Thursday night. I need to get it out tomorrow. But yeah, welcome back to the weekly game week predictions. I know I didn't do a game week 2 reaction video, but I'm gonna still tell you how many points I got for each matchup. West Ham Chelsea, I got 6 points for that, mainly saying Chelsea would win. And also I got Chalobah and Neto scoring right. And I think I've got a personal record of 6 0-pointers, all from Man City, Tottenham, Brentford, Villa, Burnley, Sunderland, Arsenal, Leeds United, Everton, Brighton, and Fulham, Manchester United. Why did I count 7? Because it is 6. I got 2 points from Bournemouth and Wolves just for saying Bournemouth would win. Got 4 points from Newcastle, Liverpool because I got Ekitike scoring, and I also said Liverpool would win, and I got that right. However, tied highest ever amount of points. You remember last week I got 11 points from Leeds United Everton for getting the correct scoreline, the correct amount of win distance, the result, and also the goal scorer. I got 11 points again from Crystal Palace Nottingham. 1-1 draw. I got the exact result. I got the exact scoreline. I got the exact distance of the scoreline. I just needed both goal scorers. I said Ismaila Sarr. Got that right, and I said James McAtee. What was I thinking? But yeah, I finished the game week on 23 points, which now I'm on 62 points after 2 game weeks. Our goal is 1,000 if you don't know. But yeah, enough with the yapping. I've yapped for like a minute and a half. Let's just get straight into the game week 3 predictions. Starting off with the 12:30 kickoff on Saturday, Chelsea versus Fulham. Fulham are basically currently the Premier League team that's only gotten 1-1 draws at the minute. Chelsea look good. I'm saying they didn't look too good against Crystal Palace, though. They could have lost that game, but they looked fantastic against West Ham, even though anyone could be fantastic against West Ham. Like, you look at Sunderland. But yeah, still, I have a feeling that Chelsea would definitely win this one. Chelsea always have a good record against Fulham at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea have only lost once against Fulham at Stamford Bridge, and that was the most recent lineup on Boxing Day of 2024. But yeah, Chelsea have won 6 and drew 4 at home. Fulham haven't won a game yet this season, and I think that will continue. Chelsea will win 2-0 here, and I think Palmer will be back on the bench to annoy FPL owners. And the goal scorers will be João Pedro, and I'm finally saying, well, I said this for game week 1, Liam Delap will get his first goal in a Chelsea shirt. The next game, the game I'm absolutely dreading, Manchester United versus Burnley. We are terrible. We saw what Man United put against Grimsby about a couple of days ago. And we've also got a good head-to-head against Burnley. We've only lost once against them at Old Trafford in the Premier League, and that was January 22nd, 2020. I'm not even trying to just clown on our club now. I think Burnley will actually get their second win at Old Trafford. Don't get me wrong, we are a strong side, but ever since that Arsenal game, we've looked incredibly weak. We've looked pathetic, especially against Grimsby. We were horrible. If Andre Onana plays, then there's going to be more goals in this game, obviously, from the opposite side. If it's Binder playing, there's still going to be conceded goals because he's not much better. We got a bit of a goalkeeper crisis and a midfielder crisis. I'm going to go for, I originally said a 0-0 draw. I'm going to say a 2-0 Burnley victory. I know, shocking. And the goal scorers for Burnley will be Lyle Foster and Jaden Anthony. Third game, Sunderland versus Brentford. Sunderland have never beaten Brentford in like the last 13-ish years. To be fair, they've only matched up twice in the last 15 years, and they were both in the Championship on October 21st, 2017 and February 17th, 2018. And the first game was 3-3, and the last game was Brentford winning 2-0 at the Stadium of Light. So yeah, maybe this is Sunderland's redemption against Brentford, but even though I completely doubt Brentford based on their manager, they've actually looked decent recently. Ever since that opening loss against Nottingham Forest, they've won their last 2 games against Aston Villa 1-0, which is quite good, even though Aston Villa don't really look that well, and Bournemouth in the Carabao Cup 2-0, and that's away from home as well. Brentford look alright, and some people are even going for Brentford win here. I don't think so. I swear some people are going to think I have like relations with Sunderland, because I'm saying a 1-1 draw, and basically if we're going off my predictions in the opening 3 games, Sunderland would have 5 points and they'd be unbeaten. Because I said they'd draw against West Ham, they'd win against Burnley, and they'd draw against Brentford. The goal scorers, I'm going with Simon Adingra to score his first goal in a Sunderland shirt. And for Brentford, I'm going to go with the one who scored in the Carabao Cup. 4th game, Tottenham versus Bournemouth. Bournemouth have only won 1 matchup against Tottenham in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and that was April 15th, 2023, when Bournemouth won 3-2. And that was with a last-minute goal from Uratara, so yeah. But yeah, Bournemouth don't really have a good record against Tottenham. Out of the last 17 games they've played, Bournemouth have only won 3. And I think that poor record against Tottenham will continue. Tottenham have looked really good these first 2 games, especially picking up a 3-0 victory against Burnley and a 2-0 victory against the heavy favourite Manchester City, which is very big. Meanwhile, Bournemouth lost 4-2 to Liverpool and also beat Wolves 1-0. So with this game, I'm going to go with Tottenham winning 2-0, and the goals are going to be a brace from Richarlison. 5th game, Wolves versus Everton. Everton looked really convincing at their new stadium against Brighton, winning 2-0. But to be fair, Brighton were, if you look at the stats, they had more shots on target, but Everton just came out with the victory. Everton have an okay record against Wolves at the Molineux, although they haven't won at the Molineux since January 12th, 2021. Wolves have looked okay, even though they haven't scored in the Premier League yet, although they did kind of convince me with a 3-2 victory over West Ham, but anyone can beat West Ham nowadays. There's literally 3 teams competing to be the worst team in Europe this year. There's West Ham, there's Manchester United, and there's Rangers. But yeah, enough of me yapping. Last time they met at the Molineux, the 8th of March, 2025, it was a 1-1 draw, with Harrison getting a 33rd minute goal and Munizi getting a 40th minute goal. And I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for Wolves. And I don't even know if my goal scorer is going to be right, because I think he's leaving to Newcastle. You already know who it is now. Strand Larson, I've said. So I might need to change that. I'm going to keep it for now, because what if he does play? Because he hasn't fully left yet. 6th game, Leeds versus Newcastle. Leeds in the last 2 games have not looked good. Lost 5-0 to Arsenal and lost on penalties to Sheffield Wednesday. I didn't see the game, but I saw the stats, because I'm a little bit of a stats nerd. But yeah, 80% possession, 2.9 XG, 25 shots, 7 on target, and they only scored 1 from a fullback, and they didn't score a single penalty as well. So yeah, Leeds have not looked good. However, Newcastle have. They nearly picked up a draw against Liverpool last week, and I feel like they could get an easy win here. And also, I'm saying this right now, this is the first watch along I'm doing of the game week. I'm sorry I'm not able to do the earlier ones. I'm not able to do Manchester United Burnley because I'm at a friend's house. Hopefully I'll be back in time for Leeds versus Newcastle. We'll have to see. If I don't stream Leeds versus Newcastle, then that's because I'm still at my friend's house. So yeah, this is like a 50% chance of a watch along. But yeah, I'm just saying now that's only 3 watch alongs this week. There's not many. But yeah, this will be an easy Newcastle win. I'm sorry for Leeds fans. I've backed you to win. Well, I've backed you to get 4 points in the last 2 games. And I just don't think you guys are going to win this. I'm saying Newcastle will absolutely batter you 3-0. I'm sorry, Leeds fans. I'm very sorry. With goals from Bruno Guimaraes, Tino Livramento, and Murphy. 7th game, Brighton versus Manchester City. The blue side of Manchester. God sake. City were quite bad against Tottenham last week, but they were really good against Wolves. I don't know what's going on there, but who knows. I've backed them to win both game weeks. Meanwhile, with Brighton, I've backed them to win the first match against Fulham and also draw against Everton. Brighton's only 2 wins against Manchester City in the last 13 years have been at their home stadium. The most recent encounter at Brighton Stadium, the 9th of November 2024, Brighton won that 2-1. And then the time they met at that stadium before that was a 4-0 loss. But that 2-1 victory saw Haaland score an early goal and Joao Pedro and O'Reilly score. But yeah, I think this will be another draw for Brighton. They've already gotten a draw this season, so yeah, it will be another draw. And I think it will be a first draw for Manchester City this season. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. The goals for Brighton are going to be Minter and Van Heck. And for goals for Man City, both of them are going to be Erling Haaland. 8th game, Nottingham Forest versus West Ham. West Ham have looked absolutely dreadful these first 2 or 3 games, including the Carabao Cup. A 3-0 loss at Sunderland, a 5-1 loss against Chelsea, and a 3-2 loss against Wolves. Like, West Ham have not looked good at all. Meanwhile, Nottingham Forest, they've made incredible signings. They look convincing. They look good that they could actually score loads in this game. They did get a draw against Crystal Palace and a very convincing win against Brentford. But if they won like that against Brentford, where they scored 3 in the first half, I actually think they could do similar against West Ham. And I'm very, very sorry for West Ham fans, but I think this is going to be the first ever game I predict in this Premier League season where I go with a team to win by 5 or more goals. West Ham have a really poor record against Nottingham Forest, haven't scored at their stadium since August 2011 in the Championship, and that was a 4-1 victory. Ever since then, Nottingham Forest have won 5-0 in January 2014, 1-0 in August 2022, 2-0 in February 2024, and 3-0 in November 2024, all at the Nottingham Forest Stadium. And also, they have never drew against each other in the last 13 years. And yeah, I did say Nottingham Forest will score a lot of goals. This one, I'm saying, sorry West Ham fans if you're watching this, 5-0 Nottingham Forest. I know, absolutely crazy. And buckle up for these goal scorers. Chris Wood, hat-trick. Ola Aina, the left-back, and the new signing, Danny Dioy. Liverpool versus Arsenal. This game tends to be really good, even though they always draw. They have drew their last encounters, both being 2-2, and out of the 38 times that they've played against each other, they've drew 16 times. Liverpool have won 14 and Arsenal have won 8. And also, in the last 13 years, Arsenal have only won twice at Anfield, being in September 2nd, 2012 and March 3rd, 2012. So they haven't won at Anfield in 13 years. Arsenal won't win here. They won't. They never win at Anfield, and they probably never will for a while. But I'm going to say the same thing that's happened with Liverpool the last 2 games. They're going to go 2-0 up, and then Arsenal are going to score 2 goals, and then nothing else is going to happen. It's going to be another 2-2 draw. The third 2-2 draw in their matchup in a row. Goal scorers for Liverpool are going to be Szoboszlai and Gakpo, and the goal scorers for Arsenal are going to be Gyökeres and Gabriel. And also, this game is a watch-along, another watch-along I'm doing. So, basically, I've said 3 watch-alongs. There's only 1 game left, which is a watch-along. Aston Villa versus Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace have looked really good under Oliver Glasner. They have lost Eberechi Eze though, but they found a really good replacement in Yeremy Pino from Villarreal. And Aston Villa are one of like 3 or 4 teams who haven't scored a goal yet this Premier League season. And also, out of the 10 encounters at Villa's stadium, Crystal Palace have only won 20% of the matches. Once being in the Carabao Cup on October 30th, the other being in the Premier League on Boxing Day 2013. But yeah, Crystal Palace rarely win at Villa Park, but I have a feeling it could actually happen this time. Crystal Palace have won more matchups against Aston Villa. That's mainly because Aston Villa have, I think, never won. No, they have won at Selhurst Park, but like once. But yeah, I'm going to say Crystal Palace will win 2-0 here. Aston Villa is still going to be one of the only teams who have not scored a Premier League goal this season. Their struggles are going to continue, and the goal scorers are going to be Jean-Philippe Mateta getting his first goal in this Premier League season, and another one getting their first Premier League goal in this Premier League season, Munoz. Anyways, that's it for the game week predictions. Let me know who is going to win each of these games in your opinion. By the way, this is my opinion. My opinion is basically irrelevant. Most of these results are going to be wrong anyway. But this is just me saying what I think is going to happen, even though it's never going to happen ever. So don't get offended in the comments. If you get offended, then I'm just going to call you sad. But yeah, that's all I got to say. Thanks for watching. Yeah, turn on notifications to never miss an Alfie YT video, and have a great night.